Yay! So, I'm sorry that I'm not pulling the cards instantaneously for you to see, but usually I do this for myself, and I just realized how funny this is that the last reading that I did, both the top chakras came out, the third eye and the crown chakra, and today, so the next reading I make after that, the root chakra came out with the sacral chakra, which are the two down chakras, the two first chakras, or the two lower chakras, I don't know. The first and the second. So it's obvious that there's some kind of grounding of energies occurring, like, so the last reading was the third eye and the crown chakra with unity, and now it's the root chakra and the sacral chakra with grounding and with awakening, and this one was like on the top of the deck. This one I use many times. It never came out for me, but one time I pulled a card for a friend that had a lot of anxiety and had a tendency to drink, and then eventually I started using it because it's quite cool. You put your thumbs, you don't strain like loose, put your thumbs inside your fists and you just put down your fists. Oh God, thank God I can pause play the video. Anyway, I'm back. So this is starting to make a lot of sense. Can you imagine, like, when the lightning strikes, there's like this massive jolt of powerful energy coming down from the heavens to the floor, and hits the floor, and ripples of energy. God knows, we can see like what is in our visible spectrum is very interesting. Can you imagine what we can't see when it's there, like in terms of energy? Can you imagine what kind of colors and ripples, energetic ripples are happening? Like cosmic energies coming down to Earth and spreading through the web. So let's start with the calming one. Calming, it's very good for like hypertension, anxiety, supports muscular, skeletal system, cultivates mental and physical restoration. It's fucking awesome. It's like whenever you're nervous, whenever you're feeling a bit out of your own skin or afraid, you know, like it's human to feel doubt, fear, and like, oh my God, I don't know if I can deal with all of this. And this is really good. The calming, the Adhi Mudra. It's it lowers blood pressure, which is exactly what we need when we are not, you know. It's a nice song. The affirmation is, I rest in the calm of inner balance and support. I rest in the calm of inner balance and support. It's it's really the only thing that we need to worry about in life is to feel inner peace, because from the moment, from the vibration of inner peace, anything can happen. Our wildest dreams, or you know, or our less wild dreams, whatever we want, whatever we need. But we have this tendency, because we've been living in such a mechanical society, we have this tendency to attach ourselves to the next moment, or to the next task, to the next schedule, to the next. But we don't understand that that's a mind process that is ruining our manifestations, because it's altering our vibration, and in those vibrations we can't do the alchemical process of creation. So first of all, we need to return to the place of calm, and from that calm can arise the most fun, the most organized, or the most giving, or the most open state. Whatever we need is what will come to us. But it needs that inner peace kind of feeling first, and then our mind can actually run the program, like doing a little reset, like turning off refreshing the page, or restarting our phone, so that all the information can be assimilated and organized, and then our mind will know exactly, spontaneously, without any effort, exactly what we were trying to achieve intellectually, like remembering something or figuring out something. And this is the trick, this is the key. And it's not like one of those mudras that if you do it, like everybody's gonna know that you're doing a mudra. So it's really cool, because I imagine you're like in a crowd and you're feeling really nervous and you don't want to do like something strange with your hands. You can just it's just it's cool. So it wasn't yesterday, it was before yesterday, that the reading of the crown chakra, third eye chakra, and unity was done. So 2 days later we have the mirror, and this is very interesting, which means that everything is going according to the plan, which means that the energies have been downloaded from the cosmic center of energy. Or like I would call it nowadays, the plasma has been programmed, in the plasma lab, in our world of dreams, where we kind of get together our higher selves and we have a chat and decide what we're going to do next, and how we're going to do it, and who's going to do what, and those calls that we have when we're like in our normal daily life, and we know that we should be doing something and we feel that there's something wrong, and that's it, because we have made a compromise in the other realms to do something here in this dimension, and we know that there's something, and sometimes we know exactly what we need to do, but it's so weird and we don't know how to, and we need some other pieces for the puzzle, like we need someone's help, or we need something to happen first, or we need to change our vibration to be able to work with those energies. We need to be on that level to do that platform and get those hearts and mushrooms and crystals and gems, and had our confrontations with those little pasts. And you know what people do in video games, it's like that. So it's time for grounding. This is another actually it's really cool, because these root chakra mudras are quite simple and discreet, just like Mother Earth, right? It's so fucking magical, and in the end, if you look around, there's nothing happening. But if you really look at it, it's like all this magic going on and all this crazy shit going on. Like, if you really see what's going on underground, like a whole town of worms and bugs of all kinds, and all kinds of animals, and all kinds of roots going everywhere, and in all shapes and forms, and it's a whole world. And if we really go down into the center of the earth, can you even imagine what might be there? It's crazy. Like Julio Verne's the Journey to the Center of the Earth is like, you would never imagine what he has imagined, and he wrote a book and there's films made about it, because our imagination is very powerful. Much more powerful than we imagine. So grounding is very easy. It's just peace. You just do this too, like this, and then you point down to the ground. If you are sitting, if you're walking or standing, you just point down, like, whatever. As you can just loosen up your arm and just point down. If you're sitting, you can put it rest on your legs, like this. As long as you're comfortable, and as long as you can find a moment where you feel actually the air flowing through the body in a way that relaxes your shoulders, and that your spine is kind of holding itself without having to use force or strain in your back, in your muscles. The point is to find a base, to sit in a way that your base is stable, and you don't have to push yourself to stay straight. You just you're just breathing, and your muscles are not creating any stress in your mind, because they themselves are not stressed. And it's not easy to to come to it's just like going to the gym to work on your body. It needs practice and some discipline. This doesn't require as much discipline as the gym and as the sculpturing of the physical body, but that's because that's not really how life works. In my opinion, we are not supposed to manifest in the physical world. We are supposed to manifest in our plasma lab, in our psychic realm, in our psyche, which is the mixture of all of our parts, our thoughts, our emotional vibration, and the way we look after our physical body as a temple. Not like a temple that you can't even talk, like a cool temple, like a place where, like the little corner that you make for your kids to play in. It's not something boring. It's just a safe place where that there's times to play, there's times to sleep. Yeah, some babies fall asleep in their little parks, and things. All right, as long as you are feeling inner peace. But this also talks about some more deep stuff. Well, not deep, but maybe a bit more taboo. I think this is talking about sexual energy, not sexual energy as in vital energy, because everything is talking about vital energy, especially when you're talking about mudras and chakras. But this is actually talking about sex. This is talking about sex. This is talking about sex in a way that we have all heard of manifesting with our sexual energy, and many of us are still finding some balance between talking about sex as something mundane and talking about sex as something sacred, because it's quite hard to find the balance in that. I'm feeling quite aware of what I'm doing right now. I've never done this, of course not. I mean, I'm very comfortable with intimacy, and I'm very comfortable with intimacy, and I have no taboos whatsoever about sexual activities. However, I don't cross the line of taking it as something mundane, because it's because I have my poetic soul, and you know, I exist in both realms, the physical and the etheric at the same time. So I can say, like, having physical orgasm we may think that it's simply that, but it's not. Just like when we are having an insight, it's not just that, it's also a physical phenomenon. And in terms of science, of course, this goes to the release of neurotoxins in the brain, and it goes to the release of hormones in our body. And of course, that influences our emotional body. So everything is connected, whatever it is, everything is connected. And there's no distinction. As long as we don't make that distinction, as long as we don't put up those walls, they don't exist. And if they exist, we can put them down piece by piece or crush them. Just be careful, you know, because when you are crushing walls, because everything is connected and all the dimensions are interconnected, it might cause suffering to others, and it might cause ripples in the physical world that you don't want to be responsible for, and it can build up to wars, sickness, and just generally bad stuff that no one wants to be responsible for. So what we're trying to get to, or trying to achieve, is stronger, you know, stronger, like in more cool, more beautiful, more powerful, more peace and love and truth and justice kind of thing, breaking walls and creating earthquakes and stuff like that. It's not exactly what we want to do, whether that be emotionally in our relationships or with ourselves, or whether it be in the physical world. That's not what we want. What we want is to find a balance between the different dimensions of our being, so that we can kind of refurbish the web between us all, and between us all, including nature and including the higher realms of the heavens, the cosmos, the stars, the that's what we want to do, is to be a pillar between the above and the below, between the dark and the light, and between the different poles. Oh, whatever. So having said that, it's quite good, isn't it? Quite a lot of things to consider, especially that everything we do in terms of matter, in terms of our physical life, will influence our emotional and intellectual life, so our spiritual life. And everything that we do in our emotional or intellectual or spiritual life will influence directly our physical life too. There's usually a gap between like a period of time until things start manifesting, before we feel it or before we see it. There's usually, but not all the time. Sometimes it's instantaneous and it happens just like that. That will depend which process you're going through and which processes you are open to, right? But I have a feeling that this collective thing is getting more and more collective. It's getting more and more collective. You can't really say this collective and that collective. I think the collective is becoming more and more and more united because it's everywhere. You can't really escape even the advertisements, and whether on YouTube or on television, there's just this worldwide web kind of feeling that we are taking accountability in terms of awareness, not in terms of physical world, because that's the real inversion of the poles that has been occurring recently. Is that we used to focus all our energy into what can we do in the physical world to help or to improve or to be more successful or to heal something or to feel peace and quiet in our minds and release the frustration. And so that's when we would recur to something exterior, in the physical world, to find that inner peace. And this is the inversion of the poles. It's like, with all these years learning about manifestation, since the Secret came out, and all the Zeitgeist documentary, it's been a cycle, and it's just now starting to turn to a new one, and we are all ready for it. It's time, and we all know what to do. Because a lot of us have brought as much as possible of the wisdom from the other side, the Orient to the Occident, from the eastern parts of the world. There's a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge that has been grounded to the west side oh my god, my knowledge of geography apparently is terrible, but you know what I mean. It's like we are merging the two sides, and during this cycle of, I don't know, maybe 10 years, since 2012, maybe, I'm not sure, around something like that. It's quite a long time that it's been this process of grounding some massive downloads that occurred before, and these last years we've been seeing the grounding of that, like the amount of people that started doing yoga, the amount of people that started taking meditation and mindfulness as something serious, and all kinds of alternative medicines. We've started seeing even, like, for example, Reiki in hospitals to help people with cancer, to decrease the pain and the suffering. We have seen the vegetarianism spreading worldwide, like the option of vegetarian food in schools, for example. It's a big proof of that. And we have this massive opening in terms of digital content. So a lot of freedom, a lot of cosmic freedom vibrations have been grounded, and it's our job now to keep going for the next generations, just like the others have done for us. And this is an ongoing process, and it takes what this means in terms of individually. What this means is that sometimes we feel like, oh, there's no point in doing this because it makes no difference. But we must understand that each little thing that we do leads to another thing that we do, which will lead to another thing that we do. And we have no idea what happens around that we cannot see. But we do have our moments where we feel like good because we did that, even if it's very small, and even if it gets no recognition, and even if it doesn't really make much sense to us and it feels a bit out of our character. But we will know if it makes us feel good, and if it makes us feel like opening, expanding and releasing and transforming. It's good, and it's exactly what we need to do. And but we need to be careful. We must not feel bad about ourselves, because what we did thinking it would be awesome and nobody cares and it has done no difference, we mustn't just get stuck in there. We need to keep going always. The path is forwards and upwards, and there are moments to look at the past and process emotions from the past, and think about stuff and romanticize. But that is what it is. It's romanticizing, and it's a process of healing. But that's a process of healing, as long as it bringing things up to pull us forwards and upwards. If we do it too much, if we overdo it, it will start creating cords to the things that have cost us so much to release. So yeah, so this is a massive coincidence. Now I'm looking and it's like 111. Like I put this down on the floor like this. 111. We are grounding, calm in our root chakra. It doesn't matter if we have a home or if we're homeless. It doesn't matter if everything is alright in our life or not. There is a center of stability. There is a nest that we can trust. And that nest is Mother Earth. Grounded to the earth, I receive support and abundance. Grounded to the earth, I receive support and abundance. Activates root chakra. So imagine that one day, you're not feeling very good. You're like, oh, I feel like someone has pulled the carpet from under my feet. Or you feel like, oh, I haven't slept enough and I can't really figure out how to turn my thoughts into speech, or like how I feel dizzy, or I feel like my stomach is strange, like I'm hungry but I don't know what to eat. You know, this is all a matter of root chakra when we're not feeling stability, because you know there's this base in us, it's like a square, and the more that we appreciate that base, not as a base like as walls and floor and ceiling, because that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about an energetic base. Energetic base. It is completely independent of what's going on or in. Completely independent. Can you imagine like Nelson Mandela in prison? Just activating his root chakra, like, you can keep me locked as much as you want, like, you can never take my peace. That's what we're striving for, you know? Because that's what matters. And because of what I said in the beginning of the video, it's like that's the beginning of our wildest dreams. It's in our base. This is so obvious. Why am I going on about it? Anyway, grounded to the earth, I receive support and abundance. Support and abundance. First comes the support, and then comes the abundance. And you know, abundance can mean a smile, can mean a friend, or a friendly moment, or access to wisdom, or access to some inspiration, or some good news. You know, abundance can mean anything. Abundance is what you need at the moment, so that you can find your, so that you are absolutely mindful of your own being and all that it entails. And when we have the base, then there's conditions for growth. And no matter how big your dreams are, there's nothing wrong with dreaming big, but the base is the base. And that's what we must prioritize always, our base. And this will lead us to, so we got all these red cards, like the sacral chakra, the root chakra, and the sacral chakra, the grounding and the calming. And this one came with them, came out with them. Awakening. So I don't know, but I have this feeling that this is like real collective awakening happening right now, because as long as there's a channel, the energies from the cosmos will ground. As long as there's a channel doing it, you know. It's harder when it's one channel, and it's so much easier when there's like a million of them, right? And that's the whole vision, is to turn this world into a paradise. Not a paradise like, as you know, I got money for everything and I can do whatever I want. No, a paradise in terms of things are balanced and there's a web that is working sustainably, a web of energy that is happening sustainably. It means that we are processing our energies, we are letting them die, and we are letting them decompose, and we are letting them absorb the nutrients that have come from there, and we are allowing it to be assimilated, so that we can grow our new plants and shoots and flowers and fruits of the next moments. This one, did we not do this? Oh no, we did this one. This was the unity one, wasn't it? Not sure, but I think so. This one is not interlaced, just, yeah, like interlaced, but not the other way. And this one's the oh god. index fingers upward, touching them together, and thumbs together too, and the other ones just crossed. And the index fingers upward, touching them together. Bring the hands close to the heart center. Bring the hands close to the heart center. Lengthen the spine and relax the shoulders. Of course, it's always the same. Lengthen the spine and relax the shoulders. But yeah, the best way to do this is just take a breath, like automatic, and just let it be. Even if they go down again, we just do it again. Nice and easy. We shouldn't never strain our body to be in a correct posture. We should always use breath, always. No matter how twisted we feel, we must always use breath. And if it doesn't work at once, it will work after 10 seconds or 3 seconds or whatever. It depends on how much practice we got and how strong we are and what kind of process we're going through, because sometimes we're going through really difficult processes, and it's absolutely normal and predictable and understandable that our body is not able to be in a perfect posture. There's nothing wrong with that. What matters is that inside us the energy is flowing a bit more and more and more, and our channels are becoming uncluttered piece by piece. That's what matters. And there will come a time that the channel will be so clean that we will feel an easiness. An easiness. The affirmation for this mudra of the awakening, in case you are interested in practicing a little bit, after you do the grounding and calming, you can do them whenever, because they're so discreet, right? Is divine knowledge and inspiration awaken my highest truth. So this is some bomb, this is a bomb. You don't want to do this like before you do this and this. Good. And this. I would say calming. And don't be afraid. It's not like because you are lowering your blood pressure, you're not going to lose all the thrill and all the excitement, and you're not going to lose anything. On the opposite, that's exactly what this video is about, is to accept that inner peace is the first thing. That's what allows us to make the right decision. And what is the right decision? The right decision is something that has the consequences that we want, which is not to cause any more suffering to anyone, including ourselves, including our past self and our future self, and anyone, whether it's our neighbors or our roommates or our lovers or our family or our whatever. This is the way. This is the way, is first inner peace and then the rest. And then we can move towards the awakening. Or not. Maybe we can do the awakening first. I really don't care. I don't mind. I just know this. I just know this. I really know this. First, calming and grounding. Because from the base can grow anything. No matter how much it takes to make a good base. No matter if it takes 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Do it. And don't look at exterior circumstances to convince yourself that you're doing a good job or not. Don't. Just know it. Know it. And trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust life. Trust your higher self. Trust your spirit team, like people say. Just trust. Total trust. No matter what kind of mess you are in, it all makes sense once you can awaken your vision and see. Okay, bye!